Hello, welcome to day 3 of the 12 Cast Ons of Christmas 2026. This is a little mini-series that I'm doing where I'm casting on 12 things in 12 days over the period between December 26th and the end of January. My plan is to be finished by the 7th of January, so stay tuned to see if that happens. But I'm here this morning. It is December 28th. It's day 3. It's 8:10 a.m. and I'm here with my pot. I am going to do this really quickly this morning because we're going out to church and I still have to get the kids ready. But let's find out what it is. I just wanted to pick it first thing so I could have a bit of space to think about it while I'm away today. I have my trusty bowl here full of all the different ideas. So I'm going to pick one out, I'm going to see what it is, and then I'll be able to think about it as the day goes on, whatever I need to do in order to get this started today. All right, I have one. The thing with Sundays for us is that church is a while away at the moment, which is why we're moving. But it means that I won't be home again until kind of 2 in the afternoon. And so any making time will be truncated in my mind anyway. All right. I have a piece of paper. Let's look at it together. I don't know which way up this is because this is one that I added this year. Oh, okay. Same jumper or similar. So this is a jumper that I saw someone make. It is a cabled top. In fact, I'll put a picture in up here, but it's a cabled top and then it has stripes down the bottom. I don't want the stripes. I just want the cabled top. Now, I bought some yarn to make some other jumpers and at the same time got enough to make this. So I will go get that yarn and show you. I'm not entirely sure which color I'm going to make this out of. And I'm also not sure if I'm going to use this pattern or if I'm going to find one in my knitting magazines because I don't own the same jumper. And obviously I'd be modding it a fair bit to get the look that I want because basically I just want a cabled cropped sweater that I can wear over dresses similar to the dress I'm wearing today. And the same jumper is, or same, it's named after the French River and I don't know how to say that one. But it is done with Super Soft, which is a Holst Garn yarn. And I bought that. They had 20% off all Super Soft as a sale for something, birthday sale maybe. So I got enough to make it in 2 different colours. And I also got some alpaca, Surrey alpaca mohair to go with it in one of the colours. So I can decide whether I want just the Super Soft or if I want Super Soft with a haze. So I will go get them. I'm not going to put that one back in. But the thing with the jumper, the same one, is that it's held single with that yarn. Like that's the recommended yarn. So I'd have to maybe go up a little bit, like or down a size. And I hate gauge swatching, so I'd just be guessing. And I don't know. I saw the other day in a knitting magazine a similar pattern, but I don't know gauge. So what I'm going to do now is I'll go grab the yarn and I'll show you the yarn, but I'm going to have to hold off going through the knitting magazines until later today. So I'll be back in a second. I'm back. I have something very crinkly in my lap, so I'm going to try and not move. These are the 2 colours I have. So I have this one, which I believe is cinnamon. Yep, cinnamon. It's 100% wool, and I'm pretty sure they're 500 gram cones. So I got this because I needed 200 grams for a different project, and 300 grams of Holst is enough to do sweater, cardigan, whatever for me. So I just went and got the 500 grams. It was 20% off, and if you buy it in a cone, it's already reduced on what it is if you buy a 50 gram ball. So altogether, it wasn't a huge amount more to buy the cone than to buy the 200 grams if I was paying full price for the 200 grams. I think that's how it worked out. But I also got green. Now the lighting, again, it is overcast. It is a dreary day. So that gives you a bit of an idea. They are fairly dull colours, but the green I got is dark apple. And I have, someone's made this jumper in this colour before and it was beautiful. So that is an option. And again, I got 500 of this to make this sweater, if this is what I choose to make with it. And then the other bit was to maybe finish the jumper that I got this for as well. It's another jumper that's in the pot, so I'm going to talk about it later, but basically I didn't like the ribbing colour. And so I wasn't sure if I wanted to go brown, which is in the sweater, or green, which isn't in the sweater, to finish that off. But I ended up with quite a lot because it was on sale. Oh, that's why I got this one, because they were out of the balls. And so I knew I wanted to get enough to do the ribbing with this and a sweater quantity. And I would have been okay with getting 200 grams of this, except they were out of the ball. So the only way I could get this yarn on sale was to buy the cone. And I was like, that's fine, I'll use it. Now, I do have some Surrey alpaca mohair to go with this one. And it is that green there. Now, this is 375 meters for 25 grams. That's all the information. This is the same mohair that I was using yesterday, just in a different color. So it's not same fluff, Surrey alpaca mohair. So it's not going to add a huge amount of bulk. And so I think if I hold it with this and just knit straight, then it will end up about like the same gauge. I don't think it's going to change it significantly, but it will give that haze. And that sounds delightful. So I think I'll probably do this one first. And then, maybe if I like it enough, I'll come back and do that. But I'm not sure if I will do the same jumper or if I will do the other one. I will have a look at my knitting books when I get back. I'm pulling out from all of my little stitch markers. I'm pulling out day number 3. And I'm going to just pop that onto the yarn there. So cute. All right, so that decision is made. I'm going to make a green cabled sweater, and I'm so excited. And I just need to decide on the pattern. If I'm doing the same one, I need to buy the pattern and print it off. If I'm doing the one from the knitting magazine, I just need to find it. So I will have a look at that when I get back from church. But for right now, I will see you later. Bye. All right, I'm back. It is 6:16 in the evening. I have been to church. We came home, kind of edged out a bit. I did look through my knitting magazines and I found the pattern that I was thinking of. And so I just wanted to check in with you now before I cast on, because I am ready to cast on. So this is the edition of the Knitter magazine that had the pattern I was thinking of. It is issue 103. And the one that I was thinking of is right here on the front. It is by Sarah Hatton. I do like a Sarah Hatton design. In fact, a lot of the time, if I like something, it often tends to be a Sarah Hatton design in the Knitter magazines that I am drawn to. Let me just find the page and show you a bigger one. So it's called Heartland. It is a beautiful all-over cable sweater with a rounded yoke. Now, a rounded collar. What I will say about it, it is beautiful, it's stunning. There are 2 things that have given me pause. The first is it's a DK weight yarn. And so I am not sure whether holding my fingering with the lace weight will be enough, because it is a true lace weight. It's not like a fingering equivalent. So I wasn't sure if that would give me the right gauge, and I don't want to gauge swatch. But the other thing, well, 2 other things. One is the round yoke. I'm wanting something with a bit of a tighter yoke because or a tighter collar, because I'm wanting something to give me warmth in winter. And so having a wider neck isn't really what I was going for. I do love that there are the set-in sleeves. Like, that is beautiful. I love the detail there. But the other thing is the patterning on the front is not even. These parts here where you've just got is that seed stitch even? Whatever stitch it is, it's beautiful, but I really wanted something where it was kind of a more all over pattern. And so between DK, thinking about changing the pattern, and then finally the fact that this one is knit bottom up in parts. So you knit the front, and then you knit the back, and then you knit the sleeves, and then you seam it all together. So that one didn't really inspire me. And basically I could have modded it to be in the round, but I knew that today, with everything else I had going on, that wouldn't happen. So I went and had a look at the Sen sweater, and I did a bit of a comparison. That one's a raglan yoke, which I do like set-in sleeves, possibly more than a raglan yoke. But raglan yoke, it's a top down, it's seamless, it's the construction that I'm used to. And so for today, I was happy with that. It also has a very regular pattern, which will give the look that I'm looking for this jumper. And obviously it's in super soft yarn, which is what I have. So all that to say, I'm going to stick with it. The original sweater that was knit, I can't remember the designer's name, but the original one that was knit, it does look a little bit see-through at the top. And so I think holding it with the lace weight yarn will kind of fill that in a little bit. So yeah, overall, I'm very excited to do the same sweater. And the bonus was when I put it into my cart, it came up with an automatic 25% off as a Christmas sale. So I don't know if that's still on right now, but if you're interested, go check it out in Ravelry. It was automatically applied. I didn't have to add any codes or anything. So if it's still there, go check it out. But that was kind of the icing on the cake. I went and I was like, I wonder, maybe I put it in my cart. It had 25% off. And I was like, yep, okay. That's decided it for me. So I have bought the pattern. I haven't printed it yet. I have downloaded it and had a look. It is 3.5mm needles. So I have a bag here. It is a bag that I've made. I have a tutorial down below which has all the information you need to make a bag completely free. And it is 3.5mm needles. So I've got two 3.5mm needles. I've got one which is a 12-inch 30cm cord and one which is an 80cm cord. And so I thought, since it's top down, I'll start with the smaller one for the collar and we'll go from there. It is a double knit collar, which is not something that I've often done as a collar. So it will still be a bit of new as I start this, but I am now ready to start. I have my super soft and my Suri alpaca mohair all ready to go. So I am going to get this started. It is almost time. I've got about 20 minutes until the kids go to bed. So I'm going to go sit out with them, get this started hopefully while they're there, maybe read them a book, put them to bed where I will definitely read them a book, and then I don't even know what my plans are for this evening. So I am planning to get hopefully through the collar on this and get some of the cabling done. It's also got short rows on the back, which I like. Yeah, anyway, so that is my plan for right now. But I did want to show you why I want to talk through why I chose the seam sweater and buying a new pattern instead of using the one that I already have the pattern for. All right, I will check in a bit later. Bye. All right, it is the end of the night. It is 10:23, which is a little bit later than I would normally be going to bed, but it's holidays and everything is a little bit later than normal at the moment. So I'm here to check in with you about how much progress I've made today. Now, I said before I was hoping to get through the ribbing and get the short rows done and maybe starting on the cables. That did not happen. The ribbing for this one is a double knit ribbing. Hang on, I'm caught on my comb. It is beautiful. It is quite thick because it's that double knit and it has quite a bit of structure. I don't know that I've done a double knit ribbing for a collar before. I've done folded collars, but not a double knit. And it is really nice. It was done with an alternated cable cast on. Cable cast on is how I learnt to cast on when I was new to knitting. And this one was an alternated cable cast on. So it was quite, very similar to the cable cast on. But it is a true double knit, which means that the collar is in fact, like you can round out the collar. It's not joined front and back together. So that is quite fun. It's like another way of doing a folded collar, and I will probably do this in the future because it is relatively simple. Having said that, it is time consuming because you are knitting every row twice, or knitting one row then purling the next. So it does take a bit longer, and that is why I've only done maybe not even half the ribbing. It's meant to be almost 2 inches, and that would be maybe 3/4 of an inch. So almost half I have done. So it has been not quite what I expected, but that, 12 cast ons of Christmas is nicknamed the 12 days of ribbing for a reason. The yarn that I'm using, I'm really enjoying. I'm not finding it difficult to knit, but you can see there's a bit of marling going on because it's got the lighter colour being held with the darker colour. When I bought this, the colour was olive, and it is like a pale olive, but I was expecting it to be a bit darker. Like there you can see it's quite pale. And so overall I am getting kind of a heathered look, which is beautiful. Not quite what I was going for, but beautiful. And I'm just going to keep going with it, and I will enjoy and wear this sweater when it is done. I think the reason I hesitate with the marling on this one is because it makes it look busier. And I was looking for a really kind of simple cabled sweater that I could put over things that were already busy. And I don't know if this is going to achieve that or not, but I still have the cinnamon cone that I can do it again without the marling, or I can get it or I can get a mohair that's a very similar colour for that one. So I am going to keep going with this. It is enjoyable at the moment. I'm not finding a problem with the needles. I did make a mistake. So the alternate cable cast on, you're alternating. You're doing one which is essentially a knit and one that is essentially a purl. And I did 2 purls in a row. And I didn't catch it when I was doing the cast on, but when I was doing the first row, I found it. And so what I did was, because it was the purl, I just skipped those 2 stitches, slipped them according to the pattern. So you're slipping every other stitch. I slipped both of them. And then at the end, I just picked up a stitch and chucked in an extra knit stitch. And then the next row when I was purling, I purled those 2 together. I don't even know if I would be able to find where it is to show you. I didn't have any problem. Picking up the knit stitch was more complicated than purling the purl stitches together. But I can fix that with weaving my end in at the end. But I just thought I'd let you know, I didn't rip it all out and do it again. It was a lot of stitches to be doing a cabled cast on for. I didn't relish the idea of doing it again. So I didn't, and I think I've gotten away with it. I do have my day 3 gingerbread man here, and so I'm going to put that in here at the point that I've gotten up to today, which is not very far through the ribbing. So there you go. I have my gingerbread man on. That is day 3 done. I have been catching up with some other 12 cast-ons today. I watched Ange's first one. So awesome, and I really want to cast on lots of socks now. I finished watching Grumpy Sheep Happy Llamas day 1 cast on, where they just cast on together and had a little chat at the table while they cast on. That was quite fun. I also watched some plans. I did watch the first cast on. I think it was I'm not going to be able to remember this one. Day 2. I will put it on the screen. Like cup something diaries, day 2, second cup diaries maybe. I'll put it on the screen. And then I watched my Making Adventures, Kathryn from my Making Adventures talking about her plans. So that was fun. There's a lot of other people doing 12 cast-ons, and I will put a link below to all the people that I have found who are doing it if you're interested in more. But yeah, I just found it really fun to sit down and knit and watch a few different 12 cast-on videos and get in the mood and get a few more ideas. Thank you to everyone who's also commented on the previous videos and told me what you're making, whether it's part of 12 cast-ons or just what you're making. Please keep that going. I really love hearing about it. I just read about the Calypso sweater, which I hadn't heard about before, and it is beautiful. I'm not planning to add anything to my 12 cast-ons bowl this year, but I am always looking for more projects in the future. So if you are working on something, I would love to hear. But that is it for me today. Day 3 of 12 cast-ons is wrapped up. And I look forward to seeing you again for day 4 tomorrow. Bye.